Good day to all my Stadio lecturers and assessors. I'm Marilynn Naidoo and this is my formal lesson for maths. Good morning, boys and girls. I hope everybody is well today. Okay, so I want you to look at this little dinosaur that I have here. Okay, this is him in his original position. Now I'm going to take him and I'm going to move him 2 hand movements to the left of me. 1, 2. Okay, and I want you to tell me, how is he different from here? Anybody? Okay, we moved him 2 hand movements to the side. Anything else that's different? Oh, that's a good observation, that he didn't change. He basically, all he did was move. So from here, he moved 1, 2. So we didn't turn him this way. We didn't flip him around. He just relocated. He was in one position and he moved to the next. Yes?
Mama, cannot see.
Okay, so this is unclear for you to see. Okay, so we're gonna just drop that out. Do we have any volunteers? Anybody? Okay, cool. Thank you. Can you please come to the front? Okay, welcome, Zach. Thank you for volunteering. Can everybody see Zach in the front? He's much bigger than my dinosaur. Yes. Okay. So here's Zach here in this position. Okay, everyone can still see Zach. Yes. Okay. So Zach, I want you to take a tiny step to your left. Just 1 step. There we go. Okay, and can you see Zach has his face changed? Has his clothes changed? Anything about him changed? No. He just went from here, he went here. Now from here, I want you to take 2 tiny steps to your right. 1, 2. Okay, so Zach moved from here, 1, 2. So he moved 2 steps to the right. And did anything about Zach change? No. Does he look different from how he looked when he was in this position? Anybody? No, he looks exactly the same. The only thing that really changed is his position. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a new word. Okay, it is called translation. Maybe you already heard this word before, but this word means moving. So Zach, he translated from here, 1, 2. He translated 2 steps to his right. So nothing else changed. He only moved position. Okay, so when we talk about translation, it is basically moving either to the right or to the left or up or down. And usually it's specific units that they move. So when we talk about translation, we are talking about only sliding to the right, sliding to the left, sliding up, sliding down, sliding diagonally. We are only focused on sliding. Okay, we're not turning him around. We are not flipping him in the air. He is just sliding from here, sliding to the left. Okay, thank you, Zach. You can take a seat. All right, so we've learned that translation is all about sliding to the left, to the right, any direction you want, but still facing the direction. Like how when we moved Zach, nothing about him changed except his position. Okay, so the first transformation, that was, anybody? Translation. Okay, so the next one, since nobody can see my dinosaurs, I'm going to ask somebody else to come and volunteer. Anybody? Okay, let's go. Thank you. All right, welcome again. So now I am going to ask Zach to imagine that I look exactly like him. Okay, and he's going to be on this side facing me, and imagine Zach does a flip, and now this is Zach here. Now can you see how Zach's position is here? First Zach was here. Zach, put your left hand up. Right, put it up. Right, now I'm still Zach, and on this side, that's my original position as Zach. And after Zach did a flip, and he came onto this side, this is Zach's new left hand. So can you see how the position looks different? From here, when we did translation, all he did was slide. So his left was still his left, and his right was still his right. But when we did reflection, he was here, he did a flip, his left hand was on this side, and his right hand and his left hand was now on this side. Sorry, this is your left hand?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Which hand do you write with, Zach?
Well, can you? This one.
So that's your right hand.
Now
Okay,
know the video.
no, that's
Yeah.
not.
Can you
So Zachariah's left hand, I think Zachariah just forgot his left and right. Zachariah's left hand, here's this hand here, that hand that he does not write with, it's on this side here. That's his left side. And this is his new left side on this side. Okay, so you see how it's different, how this is his original position, this is now the image of him being reflected. Yes, okay, so we did translation, which was a slide, and now we're doing reflection, which is a flip. So translation doesn't, you can take a seat, Zach. Translation doesn't distort or change the image, sorry, not the image, the picture or the shape that you have in front of you, but reflection certainly does. Translation is a slide in any direction, and reflection was the flip. So Zach's left side looked very different when he was in his original position, and it changed when he was reflected. So the reflected or the change, the transformed shape or image that you are considering, once it is transformed, we refer to that as its image. Right, so let's think about this once more. So your translation is a slide in any direction, and your reflection is a flip. Okay, and your translation, nothing really changes, just your position. But reflection, there is some kind of other change, because remember Zach's left hand. Okay, so the last kind of transformation that we're going to do today is rotation. Okay, I need one more volunteer. I would have used my dinosaur, but my dinosaur is too small. Thank you. We're going to call our volunteer once more. Okay, so now, welcome back, Zach. This is Zach here, standing, looking very handsome. He's going to stand right here. This is his original position. And now I'm going to turn Zach this way. Now Zach looks very different. Zach has been transformed. And how has been transformed? We moved him from here, starting position, and now we turned him. So this is his image. So you can see first we saw this was his original. This is how he looked. We see his face, and then when we turned him, we now see his back. Okay, so rotation is a turn, and it looks very different from the original. Okay, from the original shape or image. Here we're just using Zach as an example. Thank you very much, Zach. You can take your seat. So let's recap. Okay, translation was a slide. Maybe Zach can help us one more time. Was a slide. Reflection was a, very good, was a flip, and rotation is a, anybody? Turn. Okay, come Zach. Let's help them understand fully. Okay, so when we talk about translation, Zach, slide for me. Slide. Slide. Okay, Zach is moving from one direction to the next, but he's still facing forward. He is sliding. Sliding. That is translation. Now we're going to do reflection. So just imagine Zach is here, and Zach is going to do a flip, and Zach is going to face himself. He's going to be on this side. So I'm going to pretend to look exactly me and him look exactly the same. So Zach did a flip and now he's here. This is a reflection. It's the mirror image of the original image. Okay, that's how he was transformed in this example. And the last one is Zach right here, and then Zach did a turn. Thank you. And that turn is how he was transformed. So that is called rotation. Okay, thank you very much, Zach. All right, so we've learned a whole list of transformations. Well, not a whole list. We learned 3 different transformations. We learned about translation, rotation, and reflection. Okay, so for our questions that we're going to use in our activity, I just want to make something clear, and that is 90 degrees. And what does 90 degrees mean? So I need my volunteer to come up one more time. Thank you, Zach. Okay, so Zach is going to show us what 90 degrees means. So this is our, what do we call it? Remember what we said? So original position. And if I'm going to transform this by using rotation, moving in a clockwise direction, 90 degrees. Okay, let's forget clockwise, counterclockwise, just say we're going 90 degrees. So from here, it will move this way. Here, this way. So that's 90 degrees. Okay, and Zach is going to demonstrate that for us. Here is Zach at his original, and 90 degrees will be the side of Zach. So this is original, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and all the way around is a 360. Okay, thank you, Zach. So now with that help, it would be easier for you to do your challenge questions in the activity. Right, so everybody does have a worksheet in front of them. Does anybody need a new set of worksheets or a worksheet altogether? Good. On your worksheet, I think on the second page, you will find 3 different shapes, and those shapes are polygons, and those polygons are regular or irregular. Irregular. And can you identify what number of sides they have and what kind of name they have? One is a pentagon because it has 5 sides, and one is a hexagon because it has 6 sides. And there's one more. It's another pentagon, but they look different because they're irregular. So the 2 pentagons, even though they have 5 sides, they look different. Alright, so I want you to just cut out those 3 shapes and keep them on your desks. I'll give you some time to do that. And also take out your graph paper, which is also in the collection of worksheets that you've received, and keep it flat on your desk. For those of you who have already cut your pictures out, I want you to follow along with me. So you're going to have your graph paper in front of you, and you're going to have your shape. And I want you to move that shape. The first one, I'm going to come around and have a look. The first one, I want you to translate it 3 units to the left. Come and have a look. I see this is very easy. Everybody's at the right positions. Alright, now I want you to move it 3 units up and then 3 units to the right. Okay, whenever I give you a new movement, I want you to move it to original. So you decide where that original is. I'm not going to specify, but wherever you put it, go back to that specific place. I'd prefer you to keep it towards the side so you have lots of space to move. See, this is just for you to work with it, and I want you to see what it looks like. What is your understanding of Zach sliding, Zach turning, Zach flipping? But now we're not talking about Zach. We are going to look at an irregular polygon on graph paper, okay? And you're going to remember those words, the translate. You're going to slide it, rotate, we're going to turn it. And one more, flipped, we're going to flip it. So I want you to translate. Everybody put their irregular polygon, whichever one that you've decided to use, on your original, wherever you decide your original is. Somewhere towards the side will be great. Even the side, towards the corner of the page, so you'll have all space to move. All right, everybody's done. Okay, so let's see your 2 minutes. We'll change it. 2 to the left and 2 up. 2 to the left and 2 up. Very good. Anybody confused? Looks difficult? All good. Right, now we could translate it 7 units to the right. Yes. Okay, so let's remind our friend what translate means. We are sliding. Okay, we're sliding for shape. That's very good. Okay, so you move it around, we only slide it. Okay, so now I want you to do some reflection. We're going to reflect wherever you put it. Your original, say my original is here. I want the gap after you flipped it to be 10 units. So you're going to put it at an original. You're going to flip it, and the distance between the original, the last point of the original, and the last point of the image is going to be 10 units. Try and use the pentagon, because the pentagon will accomplish this. Okay, so we're not turning it. This is not rotation. We are flipping it. So flipping it is, which is its partner? Translation, rotation, or reflection? I heard someone say rotation. No, rotation is, remember, from this direction, you saw the back. So now, yes, so your reflection is flipping. So we're going to flip it. Okay, I can see some good. Having some struggles there. Okay, we sorted it out. All good. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is rotation. So now this one, I want you to recall this. How many degrees? I heard somebody say 180. So this is this, and this is 90. Okay, so this is just half of 180. Okay, so 90 degrees, I want you to turn it. So if it's in the flat, it needs to wake up. So if your shape is like this, it needs to turn 90 degrees. Okay, so it won't be a full 180. It will just be from here down. Okay, so just from here, or from here down. Let's see how I'm doing. It's a bit challenging. 90 degrees. Doesn't have to be 100%. I just want you to see, you know, what the differences are between the different transformations. Maybe 90 degrees is a bit of a challenge, but you're going to learn it soon, so you can get into the habit of learning. But for now, we are just worried about marrying our two words together. So the big heading is transformation. Translation is one transformation. Reflection is another kind of transformation. And rotation is another kind of transformation. Translation, the key word is slide. Reflection, the key word is flip. And rotation, the key word is turn. Okay, so usually we turn at a certain angle. So that is why I specified and I said move it 90 degrees. Okay. Right, anybody needs any help? Everything seems good. Everybody understands this. Anybody else needs to know those words together? It is on the board, it is on your worksheet, so you can just pair them up together. So wherever you see the word translate, think back to what Zach did. He slid. Whenever you see rotate, think about how he turned him. Whenever you see reflect, think about flipping. Okay, so there is an activity on the worksheet as well, and I want you to complete that quickly to the best of your ability. I'm going to give you some time, and if you need any help, you can just raise your hands and I will assist you. I see most of you have completed the activity. It was fairly simple based on all of the things that we've learned in our lesson, and it challenged you to see and to make special departments of reflection, translation and rotation, and you linked it with our keywords. So if the question said reflection, you wasn't puzzled or confused because you know that the partner word with reflection is flip. So that gave you some clues, yes? So those of you who were completed and have come to me earlier, I did say that there's an activity that I want you to do, and that was to find some examples of where we are seeing this in real life. So remember, everything that we learn is because it's actually a part of life. It's a part of living. It's our world. So that is why we are teaching you this, and that is why you are learning this, because you will find reflection, you will find rotation, and you'll find translation all around you. So now when you hear these words, you can quickly link them to what you've learned in class. Okay, so those of you who were finished, do you have some examples for me of rotation, reflection, translation? Anybody like to try? Okay, I see a hand at the back. You can go for it. Very good. So my friend at the back, he says that translation is like a moving car. You can translate it forwards, you can translate it backwards. That's pretty good. I like that answer. Anybody else who has another example of translation, or who has a complete different type of transformation altogether? Okay, so she says that about it. Okay, so she says on a trampoline, she can do a flip. Very good. That's a good answer. So a flip is what kind of transformation? Reflection. Very good. I see you took a bit time. Maybe it's a bit of a challenging one. Is it? Okay, you will get there. Just do more examples in the next activity. But just remember our married word. Translation, slide. Reflection, flip. Rotation, turn. Anyone has some real life applications on rotation? Something turning. A clock. Very good. Anything else? Turn. Has anybody been to a fun park or a merry-go-round or an amusement park? There's usually one ride that is always fascinating and everybody likes to go on it. It's very slow. It goes round and round, usually in a bucket, and it takes you round, and you're on the top. You can have a look at everything. A Ferris wheel. Very good. So that's a good example of rotation that we find in real life. So they're just these words that we've learned. They're more than just a maths activity. They're also in the real world. Okay, so the answers for the questions are going to go on the board, and you're going to help me to do that together. Right now, I just want to pair those 3 special words together. The 6 words rather. First one will be Translation goes with slide, reflection goes with flip, and rotation goes with turn. All right, so now that we got that together, we understand transformation is all about changing things. We have an original, and then we have what we call the original after it has been transformed. We call it an image. Right, so those of you who are completed, you can go on to find more interesting examples of real life applications of transformations. And those of you who are not, you can ask your peers to help you, and if maybe it's a bit difficult to understand it from them, you can just raise your hands and I will come and assist you. And I'm just going to give you a few more minutes for you to finish up, because you see some pens are rushing on the paper. You can take your time, answer the questions correctly. And yes, so that's what we're going to do now. And when we are done here, for all of those who are completed, who even did not complete your work, which will obviously be for homework, to complete your classwork, if you're a bit slow, you can use the answers on the board to help you out. And I want you who have not done the other activity, I want you to go home and think about these 3 transformations and think about applications and how we see this in real life. And if you're having problems with that, you can research it. You can ask your friend, you can ask your neighbor, you can ask your mom and dad, or somebody who takes care of you to help you to have a better understanding. You can even ask your other teachers to help you, and I'm sure they would not have a problem with that. Any questions, any problems, you can just raise your hand and I am here to help you.